Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and the Pichin homestay has become something like a second home for us in Borneo. I've been coming back here, I don't know how many times, maybe 7, 8, 9 times. We have a giant longhouse all for ourselves. Well, actually we inhabit only one room of it, but basically we have all for ourselves. We have the beautiful river right in front of us, a lot of nice people in the village, and actually every time we've been coming to Pichin, which is incredibly rich in fruits, just it is in nice people, we are trying to bring some new fruits, new seeds, new trees, and so on. This on the table is a mix of rare things we've brought here for videos or to show the people and our daily food. And down here we have a couple trees, because this time we decided to make an orchard around the homestay. If you look around, the homestay is not really starved for fruit trees. Coconuts are everywhere, breadfruit, bread nut in the background, big durian trees, more coconuts. Yeah, the electricity guys killed the mango tree because of the electricity poles. More big coconuts, Tukulangsat, Enkala, Lanjak, Tarap, Pedalai, all are growing here around the homestay, and most people outside of Borneo don't even know what those are. Unfortunately, the giant centenarian mango tree over there probably needs to go. First, to make room for a bridge, and second, because it is starting to rot apparently at the base and cannot stay so close to important public buildings if it's not safe. For the last couple of weeks, whenever we came to Kampung Pichin, we would bring seeds, fruits, and an increasing number of trees. Last time we brought 11 different durian trees. And then a couple of days ago, apparently they had a meeting by the homestay committee. This is not your average homestay where you stay literally at the home of some people. This is a giant longhouse which is mostly used for big events, and also for like big school trips and so, when you need to house a lot of people and also need a big hall nearby. So it's not the type of homestay where you stay in a little home with a little family, but it's basically managed by the village community. It has a manager and it has a guy who is doing all the work basically. And the guy who is doing all the work is Mr. Ringas, and here basically I have to take everything back what I said, that you are not like staying with a family in their little house. Basically we are like staying with his family, despite the fact that they live in a totally different longhouse. And yeah, 2 days ago the manager of the homestay suggested to Mr. Ringas, why don't we let the white people plant a durian tree near the homestay? I mean, then we don't need to do it, and probably it's an additional reason for them to come back every year to harvest the fruits, no? And I told him, listen, white man, yeah, the manager of the homestay is a white man. Listen, white man, we are not just planting one durian tree. We are planting an orchard. Oh well, we are basically amending or improving or increasing or enlarging the orchard you already have around your homestay. Yeah, because we are fruit hunters and sometimes you don't want to go hunting too far, so it's good to have stuff nearby. And as a start, we brought 5 trees, which are all kind of present here in Sarawak, but they are not by no means really common. Firstly, we have some red mango. The guy at the market had some beautiful picture with red fruits stuck to the plant, but we couldn't figure out what exact variety it is. But still, red mangoes are very rare here Basically all of their mangoes are green or yellow or brown. Like this white mango here. Yeah, it's called white mango, but it's totally brown. And I bet Westerners would not even recognize this as a mango. They wouldn't recognize most of the mangoes around here as a mango. Second, we've bought a durian, but not any durian, not like this durian kampung here. Nope, we've bought a durian isu, or as the Bidayu around here call it when they speak Malayu, durian hantu, or devil's fruit, or ghost durian. However, when they speak Bidayu, they call it dihan minu. And this is a very rare dihan minu, or devil's fruit, because this one is bright red inside. Then we bought some sort of sitsugium, some sort of water apple, of the type they call jambu ball around here. I think it's quite big and red, and I think it's quite tasty, because I've eaten similar things which were quite tasty, things that looked similar. And if the stuff is not tasty enough, we have brought here a miracle fruit. Basically, you eat one of the small berries of this bush and everything tastes sweet. And then we've brought a rollinia, or snot fruit. This fruit is becoming increasingly popular here. It seems it's not grafted, but a seedling. It's in the Anoneshi, and it's tasty, despite the nasty name. And as soon as I texted Mr. Ringos, sir, when are we gonna plant the fruits? Moments later, he showed up with 2 hoes and, of course, with the parang. You never leave your house without the parang. This is very important. So now, okay, it's very good. Paul is coming back from a trip. So now we have enough labor here to start planting our orchard, correct? Right now we are discussing where to put which tree. A tree apparently died there. However, my suspicion is that the electricity company killed it so that it doesn't affect the electricity line. Because as you can see from this dead mango tree over there, the electricity company also killed it. They didn't even cut it down. They just cut the bark at its base, and probably also poured a bit of gasoline and burned it. One big problem is the little river here, because as you can see, the homestay is on high stilts. The little bridge where I'm standing is also on stilts, and the little road here in the background is also about 1.5 meters above ground level. The reason for this is that this area gets flooded regularly. As you can see, the parking lot is muddy. And actually, when I stayed here last year, several times, without this bridge, I would have been cut off from civilization. As you can see, even this gathering hall there is on stilts. The bridge to it is on stilts. And as I said, here they are planning to build a bridge over there to the big community hall, also on stilts. Well, for us, the problem is a lot of trees don't like so much water. Also, the trees we bought are really small, so a lot of them might just be knocked over by some debris during the floods. So now poor Mr. Ringas he is responsible for half the things in the village, and now he is also responsible for the whims of some stupid white man who want an orchard around the homestay. And of course, even here in Borneo, we need to stay in accordance with the property lines. For example, you might think the small slope here, right behind the homestay, is part of the homestay property, but no, actually, it is part of all those little house plots on the other side of the road, and they are very intensely using the specific microclimate and micromorphology of this slope to grow a lot of fruits, veggies, and ornamentals. And while I'm filming away, those hard workers just grabbed a bunch of my fruit trees and now want to plant them without being filmed. Stop immediately. Did you believe this is a real orchard? This is just for views and likes. We don't care about fruits. We just care about our popularity online. So right behind this traditional style but modern material gathering house, they are deciding to plant something right between those two coconuts. You don't think this is gonna be too tight, too close together? And the important thing is, as you can see, Mr. Ingas is standing on high ground, about 1 meter higher than me. And yeah, he is afraid that on low ground the trees will get too much water. He's standing on high ground right next to the little river, but nevertheless on high ground. Which tree you want to put here? The mango. Ooh. I hope the mango will have enough space between those two coconuts. But if it doesn't have enough space, you know that heart of coconut palm is a vegetable, right? And also, as you can see, last year the gardeners planted so many coconut trees, and this year they planted about 12 or more. So we are not gonna run out of coconut trees very soon. So now I'm very much interested how you do plant fruit trees around here, how this differs from planting fruit trees in temperate areas. One thing maybe many tropical rainforest agricultures do is not doing too much disturbance of the soil because of the very strong erosion. So he's made a fairly small hole here on this earthen dike, also a fairly shallow hole. This mango tree was the last one, so as you can see, it's not the most beautiful one. Also, the roots have grown far too much. What would you say about those roots? I think this mango was supposed to have been sold months ago, right? Yeah. Would you trim off a couple of those roots if this was a temperate plant?
I would break them loose.
You would break them loose, but you would not cut them off?
I usually don't like to do that.
Okay, so let's see how it's done here in a tropical environment. Mr. Ingas has been planting trees and taking care of trees for many decades in this climate, and I'm sure that he has already planted many mango trees, although probably not of the same variety. Of course, we don't know how successful this one's gonna be because this is a modern variety and many of them are accustomed to a lot of pesticides. So as you can see, it's a really small hole, just deep enough to accommodate. Okay, now it's getting a little bit deeper. Just deep enough to accommodate the mango tree. And also, as you can see, the river sediments are sand and silt, more or less. In Europe we would usually take a lot of humus and put it there and so, but now I know where we are gonna put. Will it be good if we put our durian peels and our other fruit trash around this tree?
Yeah, it's good. It's better to fertilize it.
Good, good, good. So now we know where our trash is going.
Should I bring a bucket of water?
Well, I think a bucket and the water is maybe easier to get from the river, or is it too steep here?
Too steep.
Too steep. Okay, so better bring a bucket of water. And the work is already done, and this was our biggest tree. Now we just need to water it, probably put a big stick next to it so that the gardeners don't weed whack it, and then throw our fruit trash around it. Here between the coconut trees, I think a terong pipit has sprouted up. This is basically the original wild pineapple with seeds the size of pea, with fruits the size of pea seeds. And unlike the other pineapples around here, this is also able to survive on its own as a sort of a weed, or basically a relic of cultivation. And this is certainly a seedling from some seed that came from whatever. As you can see, the homestay is surrounded by agricultural land, the rice paddies, fruits in the background, the village in the background. So there are enough sources for seeds. And here, of course, along the river, the old trees, the big durians, big shorea trees, and a lot of other stuff, and giant bamboo too. Yeah, I know from my experience in Germany, whenever you have people weed whacking the grass on public land, there cannot be enough sticks for marking the fruit trees. I think later we're gonna come again and put maybe 2 big bamboo sticks or something like that, and the colored piece of cloth or plastic. A little bit of the surrounding vegetation is also being removed. And I think as soon as the bucket of water is poured over this mango, our first tree of our rare fruit tree orchard in Borneo is in the ground. Meanwhile, while we are here, Mr. Inges is taking care of the freshly planted coconuts. When was this one planted?
I think 2 years already.
2 years already? Ah, it's very small for 2 years. Maybe not feeling so well here.
Not feeling so well.
Those here also 2 years? The ones behind you?
Yeah, almost after the building.
So 2 years. Ah, here Paul is watering the tree. And when were those here planted? After I was here last time, right?
About last year.
Last year, but when last year? After February. I was here in February. So after February. Yeah, so seems that this golden coconut is not doing as well as those 2 green ones in the background. So Ringus has decided that the durian tree goes in here. If it survives its first couple decades, it will outcompete everything around it. Giant bamboo, coconuts, other random trees. Just look at the size of the durian trees in the background. They are the ones with the red stems. They will outcompete pretty much everything. Well, pretty much everything except for this thing with the pretty big leaves. This is shorea, the biggest non-coniferous tree in the world, and one of the very few trees around here that can possibly outcompete the durian. So, same type of work here for the durian. Little hole is being dug. A bit of softish clay is being put at the bottom. A bit of the surrounding vegetation is being ripped off. The plastic is being removed from the tree. Some strange centipede is living inside this plastic. And in goes the durian tree. The little durian tree here, and behind it the giant ancient durian tree. This one is probably around 35 to 40 meters tall and 1.5 meters thick. Much thicker than this little thing here is tall. Mr. Ingas is getting a stick from a random self-grown jungle shrub, sticking it as a marker. And adorning it with the beautiful black plastic bag. Done. Here, where the coconut palm has died, we'll put a miracle berry. The electricity lines are about 6 meters high, but those miracle berries, they stay small. So this is not gonna be a problem for decades. And who knows if we'll have electricity lines in 50 years or if everything will have switched to local solar. Let's see. Here we have quite a dense grass cover, which is being maintained, it looks like, every couple weeks. And I'm filming and filming and not doing any work. Yeah, I know, I am lazy. Oh, Mr. Ingas, he never stops. Okay, this one is not so old, has not been in this plastic bag forever. Same technique, and the miracle berry is already good. And the stick and the back. And meanwhile, the circle of life, the old coconut tree stump is being taken apart. Put this around the new plant as fertilizer, or you just want to not to see it anymore. I guess he just wants to get rid of the stump. Well, the original idea was to plant a couple of the things here on the big meadow near the community hall. We just remembered that a big batch of land has been bulldozed here, which means that actually there is a lot of new opportunities opening up. Within a couple years this will be overgrown again with secondary vegetation, but we can sneak in a couple nice fruit trees in between. When I asked down here or up there, Mr. Inga said, no, plant it at the slope. There is always a third option. Oh well, Paul says he planted his fruit trees exactly at the slopes too and not at the terraces, so I guess it's kinda an accepted method. So Mr. Inga says up there will be a parking lot, and down there will be a lot of flats. Well, I hope they don't do a lot more landscaping for the parking lot, or the trees are gonna be gone in no time. The village people watching curiously what the white people are watching curiously. Of course, folks, you can all write your comments and suggestions about the planting methods around here. I'm just observing the traditional established methods of the area, well, and the modern yet to be established watering methods of the area. probably introduced directly from the Alps. Oh yeah, use the slopes, use the slopes. One man's trash is another man's tree marker. Somebody threw away some old furniture there or something like that, but for us this is a nice stable plank which is not so easy to overlook. Actually, what about those metal things here? Can this be used as a marker? Yeah, this is a bit flimsy, plastic and not metal, as I thought first, but yeah, it's visible enough. Broke it into halves, sticking the shorter end here. A lot of debris in this slope. Was there some building here?
Yeah.
Ah, so they demolished the building. And the saw blade grass can also go. I'm not too fond of it. And already the false information is being spread. The people think we, or rather Mr. Ingas, is planting banana. Bukan banana! Nona! Nona manis! Tidak durian Belanda. Nona kuning. Itu nona kuning, bukan banana, bukan durian Belanda. Itu nona kuning. Enak-enak. Well, while I'm trying to explain everything in Malayu, they are speaking Bidayu, of which I understand only very limited stuff. I'm doing my part, sticking in the stick. And even at that, I'm not very good. And now the alpine irrigation methods. I mean, it kind of works. The plant is being watered. No need to complain. Mr. Ingas is not happy with my work, turning the stick around. Also using some tsupereishi for tying the Rollinia. And so it seems we are done for today, right?
Yeah.
1,000 thanks to Mr. Ingas for doing 99% of the work. And of course also to Paul for watering the plants. And to me for talking nonsense all the time. So folks, those were the humble starts of our rare fruit orchard in the village of Pichin in Borneo. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful and incredibly fruit-rich village of Pichin in Borneo. Thumbs up to the great Bidayu people of the village of Pichin in Borneo who always want me to wear a t-shirt. Nope, I am not bending down to social norms. Of course, thumbs up especially to Mr. Ingas and Paul for their work. And of course, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.